Well, we got to catch up. But I can pivot us to golf with a fun fact that I've been sitting on because it is the PGA Championship week. And shout out to my boy Kevin Reniger out in Bixby, Oklahoma. He sent me this PGA Southern Hills hat because he went out to it when it was there a couple years ago. But the PGA gets shit on a lot, and rightfully so. It's had its lulls in excitement throughout the years. But I will say it's got one of my favorite histories with Walter Hagen, the king of the PGA in the match play era. He won all of his PGAs, I think five of them during the match play era. Yes, this used to be match play, 36 hole, matches like a bunch of GD men. And thank you. And he was also famous for the gimme. He would give his opponent pretty much anything inside 6, 7, 8 feet on the front nine of any match, but anything down the stretch made him put it out, and it seemed to work every time. Like he was that guy, but it seemed to work. Well, after the 1925 PGA at Olympia Fields in Chicago, Walter, known to be the partier, I mean, he basically said that all he ever wanted to do was make money and party. God love him. He was the father of
A
professional
fucking
American,
dream, baby.
just the father of professional American golf. If you want to see a good depiction, a wholehearted, good, nice depiction of him, watch Legend of Bagger Vance. The guy who plays Walter Hagen in that does it pretty damn well. But anyways, he gets into a cab, and what does he want to do? He wants to party. So he takes the Wanamaker, fresh Wanamaker trophy, and he says to the cabbie, "Hey, just take this back to my hotel for me, please." Walter gets back to his hotel. I guess he just forgot, but it never made it there. And the Wanamaker just disappeared because Walter Hagen wanted to go partying. And 5 years later, in the warehouse of his club manufacturer, some janitor doing a nighttime, just random ass check, sweep, whatever, finds the Wanamaker trophy. And at that point, the PGA had already commissioned a replacement. So there's your fun fact to lead us into PGA Championship week. Wanamaker trophy went missing in 25 after Olympia Fields. I'm curious if he went out with Al Capone. I wonder if Capone was around in 25. I mean, if that was, you think about it, pro athletes, especially, up until the 80s and 90s, and like, I guess social media really took off and cable TV and the access to them, they were all intertwined with, whoever was in charge, whether that be the politicians or mobsters. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Now somebody fact checked us on that. Liaison for Ricky Fowler. Explain yourself, Teach.
That's my title. There's a new thing on Riverside. I said enter your title, so that's what I threw that in there.
Chief of morale, if we're keeping track. That's mine.
He's a Derek Dietrich for the Yankees. He is what is he? He's manager of player attitude or something like that. He's literally there just to be like a pump up person for the team, which I think is fucking hilarious.
There's a good living in that. I kind of do that for a living.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, where are we going with this?
TJ,
you want to actually start a show? Like,
well,
I'm sorry,
let's make some picks for Quail Hollow underway today. You want to do the same as we did for the Masters? We'll do a pick and a top 20 sleeper pick type thing.
All right, I got my bet slips ready. I threw some. I wanted to have receipts.
Hold on,
I'm
gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now too. Hold on.
I like that some of these are already offering to cash out. It just cracks me up.
They do that. Are you on DK? Yeah, they do that as soon as he plays it.
Masters on DK, and this is the thing. Okay, so I got my picks in so that I'm not going to be a hypocrite or be one of those guys who's like, oh well, in this league I picked this guy, but on FanDuel I took this. Nah, one bet slip to rule them all. Just set it and forget it. One bite, everybody knows the rules. But after the Masters, I was just sitting there dicking around Saturday night watching Justin Rose do his thing, and I was just feeling Justin Rose, and I threw $1 at him to win, and it was going to pay out 141. And then on Sunday, I just started leaderboard watching, and I'm sitting there with my wife, and she sees me scrolling, and she goes, "Stop!" And it said buyout at $57, and she's like, smash that. And I was like, no. I was like, if he wins this, and she's like, but you're rooting for Rory, because I was all day. I was just sitting there texting everybody, not dead yet, not dead yet. And like, that was my phrase all day, because my buddy, oh, he's fuck, I can't live through this again.
I was texting the opposite to my friend that's a big Rory fan.
Yeah, you were probably sitting there going, here we go again. I'm like, no, this is the time. He's gonna lock it in. And sure enough, he did his thing. But I will say, right as soon as she said that, I looked back and it dropped from like 52 or whatever it was down to like 32, and I cashed out $32 Justin Rose, a Saturday night kind of long bet. That coupled with my Zach Johnson T20 that I put Friday night, I think I won like $50-$60 on $2. So we're looking to repeat that, but I want to have the receipts. So where do you want to start, Mr. Liaison?
Yeah, let's do to win first. So Gary and I both we're rocking the new America hats thanks to the Putter Shop. New
Those are
it was not, and it was not planned actually.
It wasn't planned. I wore it because I was kind of trying to dress for the nationality I was picking to win. A golfer I'm not a big
Corey
fan
Connors comes out of your mouth, I'm leaving the show forever.
Golfer I'm not a big fan of, but I got respect for them, and they've been looking good lately. So I think it's time, and I'm gonna roll with Bryson this week to win.
I fucking knew it. I knew.
So here's my question. I got two winner picks here. One was an odds pick, like I really think this could happen if lightning in a bottle. So I'm gonna tell you this is not who I think is gonna win, which is good is my actual prediction. But I think where is it? Where are you at? Denny McCarthy at plus 16,000. So I threw $1 at that to pay out 161. If Denny McCarthy, if his putter, he's one of the best putters on the planet, and these greens are massive. So if all of a sudden he's rolling in 30, 40, 50 footers and just keeping it in the fairway, you never know. But who do I think is going to win this thing? I'm rolling with Bryson. I think he is going to do it. I think he keeps showing up to majors, and he won on Live. I'm a big fan of the winning as a mentality, and these guys gather them in chunks. And so Bryson's going to carry that chip. He's going to just freaking airmail it all over the places, and we've seen what he could do at Winged Foot. So I think Bryson's going to snag this PGA. Remember, he hadn't slept, and he's drinking, and we just hit him with the double Bryson. So we got to just give him a little bit. He wasn't ready for this BD energy. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's better than a double is a triple, and I was also going to pick Bryson. So
it's not. I mean, here's the thing.
This is the Bryson that we had, and then there's the other one. There we go. I feel like it's time. I think like TJ and you guys are both saying it's time. Like he's playing great right now. He looks fucking good. He looks healthy. He's minimizing his mistakes. His putter looks good. I think it's the obvious choice, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest.
It is the obvious choice. I think it's almost like Rory's an obvious choice, but not a surprising choice, just like at Augusta. But TJ, I don't know what it says, though, that we're getting love and support from a guy who picked Dustin Johnson emphatically to win the Masters. I rewatched that clip the other day, and I just had to remember that.
Remember what you said at the beginning of that?
Seriously,
that's what happened for that.
No, but Bryson fits the profile for this. Mm-hmm. He can hit it a fucking mile. If you're sitting there telling me there's guys who can hit a 9-iron, a $195, 200. Yeah, this is the course where you need those high lofted shots. And he putts. Yeah, I just said he putts like he fucks, but he putts. And so if he's putting, he's going to be there on Sunday. I like the storylines.
I did also have $5 down on Victor Hovland on a top 5 because
you really haven't slept.
No, but dude, it was like $5 to win. Was it 75? I think it was.
That's fair.
I'll throw it in there. It's $5. Who gives a shit?
I do have my top 20 is someone that's also they've been pretty hot lately. I think I put them top 20, top 10, top 5. Just see what's going to happen. But I'm rolling with Shane Lowry for the top 20. He's been up there lately, just been consistent. And even the past few majors, like it's not like he's out of it. He's in the mix still on Saturday, and it's he's been on the big stage before. I think he's someone that can just stay up there, stay in the mix of things.
Major winner. He just cracked the top 10 in the official world golf rankings, which do still mean something. At this Buds for you, if you want to talk about it. And then, I'm so damn
shameless plugs.
I'm so damn tough.
I have to take a poop. This Bud's for you if you want to talk while I'm doing it.
At this Bud's for you, number 2.
You missed it the last time, Gary. He gave out his basic or his Acorn Hills code. I don't know.
All right, that's fucked. That's stay off our turf, Heisenberg. This is our shit. Okay, listen. We got other golfers licking their elbows and shit when I'm not here. Figure it the fuck out.
That's good stuff. That's some good fucking content. I got Hideki Matsuyama as a top 5. I don't have a top 20 locked in, but I think that you can lob him in there for a top 20. I think he's at that point in his career where we forget about him all the time because he's injured, his back's this. And then he just keeps showing up top 20, top 20, top 20. Mm-hmm. I got Hideki up there. I too have a little bit of love out there for Shane Lowry. And a sneaky, really quick backing it up. This is the one I was actually looking for. There was a saucy wire to wire option out there.
Ooh.
And I just can't bet Rory for anything this week. I just think it's too good to be true. I want him to win, so I'm going to stay away from it. But Justin Thomas wire to wire, $1 is going to pay out 251. Let me rephrase that. A unit's going to play out plus 250. What the fuck? I don't know how to talk. Yeah. But I could see JT. He also just won. We'll get back to the picks in a second, Tej. But you think about it, you got Justin Thomas peaking right around the time where we're back to Quail Hollow. Scotty just won, and everybody, what's wrong with Scotty? He hasn't won yet. Well, he's 31 under. He's Scotty Scheffler. Rory, the storyline's obviously right there. He's Mr. Quail Hollow. Max Homa is actually, he's won a couple times, at Quail Hollow. And then Jordan Spieth, who I love that this spotlight just came on and people think it's like a new thing. Like he hasn't been thinking about the career Grand Slam every fucking year. I think maybe for him though, the spotlight's all he needs. Like, you don't think you think this is going to be another Rory drama? You think you're going to take, because he's a super nice guy, but so is Scotty Scheffler. Whatever makes him tick is going to make him tick. And I think that might just be it. Like, all right, maybe I have to remind y'all just who I am.
I have, I love that, actually. I have a sneaky top 20 pick that I just saw it and I saw the odds. It's plus 450. And I was like, it's not as bad as I thought. But I'm gonna go Mr. Tommy Kim. I think he's gonna sneak in there top 20. And I want to bet him top 10, but I threw a little, he's plus 450 to finish top 20. And I thought, why not throw it on there? So that's my top 20. But my money I've got my money on Bryson. I have $5 on Victor in top 5, and I got $5 on Tom in top 20.
Yeah, I think he's someone that it's like no one's expecting it because he's been struggling a little lately. But he's capable of it. He's certainly been up there in the past. That it's just needs it to click for a couple days.
He's another guy, like Bud said, like the greens are big there, and he's somebody who can definitely capitalize on that. And I think that he's somebody who, if he gets it moving, that's somebody who's going to sneak in.
And he was also there at the President's Cup in 22 for the internationals, snagging a couple points, going 2-3-0 as a super baby-faced guy. Like that's where we found out about Tom Kim. And again, all these guys need is something mental to hang their hat on, and whatever that chip in the shoulder might be.
Okay, you know what? Let's do something fun here. I have an idea. I have $5 left in my DK account here. Let's each do something. We'll do a parlay
on it. Okay. So beautiful.
Thank you. Songbird of our generation. I don't know. Give me some. We'll put it together. What do you want? A
parlay.
Do
a juicy little parlay, a 3-legger
for like a top 20.
How about
all proceeds go to charity? Charity being my baby mama name.
Yeah, my baby mama. Dude, how about Ludwig, by the way, to win it plus 2,800?
Here's the thing. I don't hate that because he too is somebody who's just been playing like dog shit, but he's naturally talented. Yeah. Yes. It is a light switch for those guys.
Colin Morikawa's plus 2,500 as well.
I got a beef with this. Okay, you know what? Here's my revelation on Colin Morikawa. He has become unlikable. He's filled the shoes of Phil Mickelson, the guy who's becoming divisive, and he's trying to play a character he wasn't built for. He doesn't have the body for it. He doesn't have the size for it. His whole I don't care what the world thinks about me. And then that flashing that little smile, that little finance, he's my hedge fund manager smile. That to me, what he doesn't get is he's the guy who has a resume, but then is so fucking insecure that he has to keep telling you his resume, and he's just so socially awkward. Shane Lowry said the same thing. He said, "Hey guys, listen, I just need a minute sometimes. We come right off the course. It's heartbreaking. I just need a minute sometimes." Colin doing I don't owe anybody anything, smiling. Yes, you do. Don't forget that we, the people, pay your bills with our eyeballs. Right. And all it takes is a couple of comments, and then things happen. So take your majors and shove them, because you're not the first guy to win a major. That doesn't impress me. Are you a kind human? And that attitude of, I don't owe you anything. Oh, yes, you do. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, you do. You know what? I want you mic'd up for 18 holes next time you say something stupid like that. And that's just it. He's so smart and so talented and so good that he is so unaware of himself that he thinks that he can just get away with that shit. Graciousness is what gets, and that's what I'm saying. I don't hate the guy, and I think he might win. I'm just saying he is becoming very easy to unlike with that kind of irreverent, just whatever.
It's funny too, because like you were talking about the Wanamaker, and the thing that is just ingrained in my head when I think of Morikawa is when he raised it, whenever it was the year he won it, and the top just tumbled down. And he was like 21 at the time, or well, maybe not that young, but he was so young. But it's like Phil, like he was hot, and then it was before people like Scotty Scheffler came into the mix, and like Ludwig Oberg and stuff like that. Like a lot of those names were not there yet. Right. And it's when people like Rory and Bryson and Brooks were struggling in these majors that Morikawa won 2.
Yeah.
He won the PGA in the Open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's been years now. It's crazy, but it has been 3-4 years and he hasn't done much since.
You know what? Jack Nicklaus, goat of all goats. Don't get me wrong. Tigers might be the most phenomena type thing I've ever seen in my life, but 18 majors, all the runners up, there's like in the 70s, he played in 10, in like 40 majors and he finished like 11th. That was his worst. There's like those crazy things. He was a nice guy. He was a smart businessman. He was a family guy. He was Scotty Scheffler. He was Jordan Spieth. He was a little Justin Thomas outside of the F-bomb that then it hadn't go to therapy. But like that was his focus. It wasn't so much about the showmanship. It was just about the performance. And I think Colin, in this new age of social media and eyeballs, and he gets it. I don't owe you all anything. He probably got more love out of that than a gracious self-deprecating kind of, not my best look. Sometimes we just need a minute and we forget where we are. We're human too, which is the route. That's what a PR rep would have told him to do. But Dennis Rodman never did that. Like that kind of mentality. Bryson doesn't have to do that. Bryson's a cheery, positive guy. I don't think Bryson has to worry about his image anymore. And if you hate on Bryson, it's almost like hating on LeBron James. You have to, he does the flopping, whatever. But outside of that, he doesn't cheat on his wife. He doesn't go out and party. He's been doing this longer than just about anybody else. He's gone so there's all these things like you just really have, you got to move on with life. If you're going to take your time to hate on Bryson, and trust me, I've done my fair share of hating on Bryson. But he gets it now, and he's chosen his path. Colin's not built for that. So either just go full dark or, learn to have a personality or lean into your dorkiness. Like you're a dork from Cal Berkeley who's smarter than all of us and you can hit 290 on a rope. Like lean into it. Be a little like Tom Brady knows that he's kind of dorky. That's why he doesn't have to mention how many Super Bowl rings he has. Sorry, too soon for you upstate New Yorkers.
We don't give a shit.
Fan.
Yeah, good. I'm a Bengals fan.
Oh, God. Joe Burrow's making headlines off the field this season.
All right, shut up. I saw. You know what? I don't care if he goes out and he fucking wins MVP and throws for 10,000 yards. I don't give a shit what he does.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.